wedding was nothing like. It was nothing like the picture I had in my. First of all, they dabbled my face in paint. When I came out of that makeup section, my mommy was not. She was being dramatic. She could not. What do you want to say now?
No, I just felt that the person did a good job. Did not. The person was not trying to minimize material. Okay, so friends.
Hi friends.
Hi friends.
Hi friends.
Good to have every one of you online and have you been watching and following our content. If you haven't, you have been missing a lot. So
Yeah.
today we have something amazing. Don't bother to just watch halfway because the full way is the real thing. It's the real thing.
Is the real way.
Yeah, so it's the real thing. So today we will be talking about our wedding. How was the wedding? How did we how were we able to plan, prepare, and have a very beautiful wedding of the century?
We had a beautiful. I remember, yes, we said that. No, we had a beautiful wedding just because we're getting married to the love of our life. But the circumstances around the wedding was stressful.
Yeah.
First of all, we had to travel 7 hours. Me and you both traveled for our wedding. So you can't say that you came to marry me. Like, both of us, we traveled to the venue, you know. And I remember when we...
Actually, you traveled longer.
Exactly, it's true. We traveled longer. The venue was shorter for you. I remember when we wrote down... that should be in 2016, when we wrote down the list of things that we needed to do to sort out for our wedding. You know, we just say, okay, let's just plan the way we had English language. Somebody had given us, we've gotten that, we already knew what we were going to do. We knew this was heading towards marriage. Somebody had said, yeah, just go ahead when are you getting married. So we knew the timing was right. And so we sat down to just plan, because who does those kind of things without planning, right? So that day we were in, I think we were in Asaba. I had come to visit or something, I don't remember. And we're writing down the wedding list, the things that we will need. And immediately we finished writing the list. When we calculated it and got to the bottom of the page to total, I just found that big balls of tears were just coming down from my eyes. And I was so sad. I was so discouraged because I just looked at where we were and looked at where we were going. The gap was so wide. It was almost impossible. I just thought, how are we going to... I looked at our combined annual income, gross and net earnings, and I say, hey, God. And we're not trying to do anything flashy. We're just nothing really extravagant. But I looked at the wedding list, I just started to cry because it was just so much. Like, there was I just thought it was impossible to get married. I thought it was impossible. I thought that I didn't know how we're going to foot the bills. Why does marriages have... No, so is marriage expensive, or is wedding why do weddings have to be so much more expensive than, you know, the marriage?
I think it depends on how the people want to go about their wedding. Wedding can actually be cheap. Wedding can actually be inexpensive. The problem many times is that yes, the problem many times is that the people themselves want the Cinderella type of experience, especially for people like this.
I didn't do Cinderella.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes,
I think most men wouldn't mind a very low-key, less. Many men, though, there can be those who
I would
want...
be interested. If you know a man who wanted a more expensive wedding than the wife, please post it in the comment section. I'll be interested to hear. That's true. It's actually the lady that has a picture of, I have a picture of what... My wedding was nothing like... It was nothing like the picture I had in my... First of all, they dabbled my face in paint. When I came out of that makeup section, my mommy could not... She was being dramatic. She could not... What do you want to say now?
No, I just felt that the person did a good job. The person was not trying to minimize material.
This is my face on the drawing board. They splashed it everywhere. And this was me that was not really a makeup person. So, almost everything that could go wrong was going wrong. My husband's suit. When did your wedding suit arrive? Actually, I've already even borrowed.
Yes, but I had to borrow suits on my wedding eve.
Yeah, I borrowed wedding
because
suits.
my suit wasn't there, and the wedding suit came at midnight or past midnight. I mean, that means it came on the day of my wedding.
The wedding, yes,
Yeah,
and there was no car, so you had to trek to
yes,
the venue.
I had to trek to the venue. There were many things. Even the night before, it was rainy.
Yes.
It was
rainy because
rainy evening.
we were supposed to have our traditional wedding outside.
I was beaten
and you were white
by the rain. I was soaked with my. I was a very big regalia, African regalia, 3-piece regalia. I was well beaten by the rain, and I'm happy today.
Until date, we still don't have our wedding videos. What is it with you videographers? They've changed now. We still don't have a wedding. Do you know we don't have wedding video? We don't have a wedding video. Can you believe that? We have to get married again.
And the one I think
do you agree with me?
No. And I think the one we should talk about was the tension.
Oh, family.
There was family tension between me and you, tension between families.
Yeah.
Both spoken and unspoken tension. So, but.
And we cooked, we were trying to be nice. We made a very lovely meal. I told my people, I said, my in-laws are our in-laws. My husband's people are from Delta State. We are the Yorubas, so from Oyo State. And I told them, please don't put pepper in the food.
That's what we call pepper here.
Is it pepper? They call it in Britain.
Yeah, pepper.
Chili, spicy, hot. He said, don't make it. I said, don't make it hot. Just, they said, okay, we have here. Don't worry. We would cook a very lovely food. So they went pepperless.
I'm surprised she's even admitting that there was.
They went pepperless.
My God.
But if you see the choking, when my husband's people arrived, water, they couldn't eat the food. The meal was hot, it was spicy. I'm glad they took it in good faith, because...
that was on one side. Then there was also cultural tension.
Cultural differences.
Her culture needed me to prostrate in
bow down and worship
as a sign of humility, greeting, honor for her family and herself.
Yeah.
And also it also required my mom to maybe kneel down or show some sign of regard and the rest. And the whole thing was strange for me. I was more than willing to do that. I know it was only going to be once. Nobody was going to, they may not even get to see me again. And then if we even see, they can't force me to do that. And then even if I am not that kind of person that wouldn't do that because it doesn't take anything from me. But I know for my family, it wasn't something they were going to.
Mommy
so it was a very difficult one. And then also there were tensions on, her dad not being there.
Yeah, my dad was there.
So there were some things that maybe if her dad was there, he would have been able to help us take off. Yeah. But him not being there, we had some family members that were bent on some things that we needed to do, and those are some things that could have been unnecessary. But anyway,
the bottom line, I've taken your bottom line is that a wedding day should be a day of joy.
Yeah.
And one thing we did was when I was entering the church, I was frowning. Actually, I was frowning because I wanted my elder brother to walk me in, because my dad was not alive, but that didn't happen. And I was upset when I was coming in. But we had a very beautiful wedding. There was a lot of energy. We had fun in the wedding. I remember the wedding message where the pastor advised you that you should better wash plates than commit suicide. You remember that wedding story? We'll share some other time. One thing that happened was at a point we both decided that regardless of the chaos that's going on around, we ourselves, we're starting a new family. We were starting, and once again, famous kneeling down episode. We both knelt down. I knelt down, and then he knelt down, and then I said, because of me, because you are getting married to me, let's do this. We're getting married to each other. Like he said, we won't always be here with family. Let's do what needs to be done. Let's do it in joy, in good faith. So when you're planning your wedding, as you get married, as you make preparations, don't forget KY jelly. If you know, you know. As you make preparations, know that you are making memories that will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, you smile, have fun. I wish families will be sensitive. The economy is not always what it is. People should get married, bless them. They don't have to go through hell, spend money that they don't have. You know, even if they have that money, they should be saving it for the future. You know, and you know, one interesting thing is that we started out our wedding, you know, not having, looking at the list and crying and weeping, but we went home with souvenirs.
We're having so much more,
and even in the bank account,
and
we
thanks
had
to
so
all
much.
the friends that supported us. Thank you to the family.
And if you didn't support, it's not too late.
And I think you made a very strong point. Should weddings be expensive? It shouldn't be expensive.
No, but we will not hear. We women, we will not hear.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive. I think the most important thing that we all should begin to work towards is should be focusing on how those two persons can be able to live harmoniously together after the wedding.
You know, in this social media age, you want your wedding to trend. Well, if it trends, it's only for maybe 1 hour, 1 weekend. By the next week, so let's learn to focus on the things that really matter. Important.
Putting so much pressure on people that are just starting life, that don't have enough money.
Or the people themselves, putting pressure on themselves.
Themselves. Yes, if you have the money and you want to spend it, good. But many times, a good wedding will never in any way
indicate
or make you to have a good marriage. But guess what? A bad wedding can go a long way to affect your marriage.
Yeah. So that is if you even survive the wedding. Wasn't it on the other time when was telling us about people that almost broke up in the wedding from the reception?
Because sometimes some tension, some arguments, some quarrels, some resentments from the wedding will be sometimes carried over by the couples themselves and even their families.
Yes.
It will affect their perception.
Family, you didn't do this, you didn't do that.
Yes.
Our reception ended abruptly. Before we finished, they started removing decoration because we had to travel 7 hours back or something.
There are some couples that, some families that never got to speak again. Or never got to forgive themselves.
Yes.
You know, maybe they will end up, this person did this to me, the groom did this, the bride did that. So sometimes some weddings themselves are supposed to be a point of celebration, end up becoming a point of chaos and problem that even trail beyond the wedding itself. So I think we need to be retrospective, look back and see where we need to change things. And for me, I think one of the things that we might need to begin to touch is this idea of having a very expensive wedding.
And on the part of the in-laws, I think one thing that we did was we were constantly speaking to our families. You know, we were constantly, be the mediator, be the peacemaker, you know, stand up for your person.
Don't take sides
with your family. Your new family is your husband, your wife. That's the new family.
I think, please let me come in here. There was something you did that night that I will not forget. When the tensions began to grow, it was, I mean, one of the things that got to my family was when we came for introduction and someone from your family gave maybe good advice from your family culture that my family, people that came with me, that we should go back to the hotel, relax, have our bath, and have a rest. That word was insulting, to tell people to go and have their bath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, from you. So you're what I'm trying to say.
So you see, some things can be misconception. Is such a miscommunication, like saying one thing and it being cross-cultural weddings.
Especially when we got there for introduction, we couldn't see anybody for your family for a long time. So there was nobody to see us, nobody to receive us, nobody to welcome us. We didn't know what was happening, but we were just there waiting.
Research cultures.
Yeah. So finally, we were told that we couldn't see the people we were to see that day till the next day. And according to what my uncles and the rest could figure out, the person that in question we were to see was just within the environment, so they were, you know, so but what we're trying to say in essence is that there were tensions, and these things are things that we could deal with. These things are things that we could put up with. But when this tension was growing, there was something you did, which is actually what I meant to say.
Yeah.
You knelt down in
I'm
your.
always kneeling down in every episode.
Yeah, you knelt down. I remember very well. You knelt down and you told me that if I'm to go through anything because of you, I should just endure.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
worth
should
it.
let it slide, so that at the end of it all, it's going to be me and you. And I
Yeah.
still remembering kneeling down alongside with you and praying together and lifting, both of us standing up together and hugging ourselves and telling ourselves, okay, no problem, let's do this. Even if it didn't end the whole tension, but it began something.
It made us stronger
in us, especially for me.
Together.
It helps to
Fight together.
it helps to encourage me that at least I'm going through all this for a woman that has sense. Yeah. So thank you so much. I think this is where we should.
So I'm going to wrap it up by just we started out talking about expenses in weddings. Don't kill yourself, even in dating self. That's why we're always going to the zoo, because it was free. Why should we? Why we're not trying to impress anybody.
Yes.
Do what is comfortable for the both of you.
Yeah.
So don't follow. If there's a tradition to be followed, follow the tradition. And please, who are the people that has to make these traditional laws? Don't need to update them. 42 tubers of yam, 42 tubers of yam. Yam is now more expensive. Fuel is now how much? Don't they update these laws? Who are these lawmakers? We need a meeting. Okay, but don't kill yourself. And then when it comes on your wedding day, be happy. It's the happiest. It's not the happiest day. The happiest day of my life was there. I gave my life to Jesus.
Yeah,
Even though I don't know what I was
we can't
doing.
change the culture. We can't erase the culture.
Exactly.
But we can choose
to be prepared.
To be
aware.
for the culture. We can choose to encourage the stakeholders and people involved. If there's anything they can do to make it easier and less expensive for us.
Yes.
I think one of the good things my elder brother did, which I can also encourage anyone, after the long list of items, he went to his father-in-law Toby and said, "Sir, I want to be honest with you. I can't afford this. I'm just leaving school. I just started working, and this is going to be very expensive for me, and it's going to affect me." And the man said, "Thank you so much for coming to tell me. And actually, I was not involved."
Exactly. Most times, the bride's parents are not involved.
I'm not involved in this.
How many of the yam did I get?
Yeah. What I will do for you is that I will ensure you get what you can do. And he told him, "Now take the list. What can you provide?"
Imagine.
So he ensured my elder brother chose the things that he could afford to do, and today he is happy. They are happy. So I think.
So back to my.
Yeah, I think this. And I will end by saying that in-laws
You're
themselves.
not the one ending. It's me that's going to end this.
Well, let me say my final words, please. In-laws themselves should know that it is a very sensitive thing.
Yeah.
If you are bringing someone in as a son, let the person feel accepted. Show the person that we accept you as a son. We're not trying to make this thing hard for you. If there's anything you can do that will communicate that love, that support, like I just mentioned, like for example, for my elder brother, you don't have to do that, but
find a way
to relieve the burden, to show that this is not, we're not doing this tradition to punish you, you know. So I don't necessarily understand why we have to do all those things, but if we have to do them,
are we challenging tradition?
No, we're not.
Brutally challenging tradition.
No. But if we have to, it shouldn't be done out of.
Thank God you to have daughter. She?
Yeah.
No, we
shouldn't do this thing out of. It shouldn't be like a burden. It should be something we do out of joy, to share in our culture, to share in our tradition, and to share to make it a memorable and wonderful day.
Please comment, share with us, what did you do differently on your own wedding day? How did you deal with tensions? How did you did you survive your wedding day? I hope you did survive your wedding experience. Was it joyful? Please share in the comment section. We would love to really read it, and I would love to be laughing in the comment section. But just to wrap it up, those are the things. Be true to yourself in terms of finances. Reach a common ground. Women, I beg. It's still the both of you that will enjoy it. Enjoy the marriage. Focus. Keep your eyes on the joy that is set before you in times of tension. Put your eyes on the joy. Keep your eyes on what really, really matters. Throughout the wedding, your makeup is awkward, your makeup is lovely, the dress got torn, somebody spilled coffee on your wedding dress. find a way to make it happen, find a way to make yourself happy. And for us, you know, God has kept helping us. God helped us through our wedding, and even the honeymoon that we didn't do. Did we do honeymoon? We've not still had our honeymoon.
It has passed.
All right, bye. See you some other time.